There are no permanent changes because change itself is permanent. Ralph L. Woods. To live is to change, and to be perfect is to change often. John Henry Cardinal Newman. Life is about change. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's beautiful, but most of the time, it's both. Lana Lang. They must change often. Who would be constant in happiness? Confucius. To improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. Winston Churchill. To exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. Henry Bergson. Things don't have to change the world to be important. Steve Jobs. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Steve Jobs. There is change in all things. You yourself are subject to continual change and some decay, and this is common to the entire universe. Marcus Aurelius. Any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomforts. Arnold Bennett. Turbulence is a life force. It is an opportunity. Let's love turbulence and use it for change. Ramsey Clark. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. Malala Yousafzai. True life is lived when tiny changes occur. Leo Tolstoy. The art of progress is to preserve order amid change, and to preserve change amid order. Alfred North Whitehead. Change does not change tradition. It strengthens it. Change is a challenge and an opportunity, not a threat. Prince Philip of England. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Jimmy Dean. I find the best way to love someone is not to change them, but instead, help them reveal the greatest version of themselves. Steve Maraboli. Continuity gives us roots, change gives us branches, letting us stretch and grow and reach new heights. Pauline R. Kaiser. The art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings. Kakuzo Okakura. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Charles Darwin. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Albert Einstein. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. The world hates change, yet it is the only thing that has brought progress. Charles F. Kettering. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Ellen W. Watts. Everything passes, everything wears out, everything breaks. French proverb. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman. Play to your strengths. If you aren't great at something, do more of what you're great at. Jason Lemkin. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King, Jr. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Buckminster Fuller. Happiness is the art of making a bouquet of those flowers within reach. Anon. True happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Helen Keller. Being happy doesn't depend on any external conditions, it is governed by our mental attitude. Dale Carnegie. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Mark Twain. There is only one happiness in life, to love and be loved. George Sand. Happiness is the secret to all beauty. There is no beauty without happiness. Christiane Dior. A happy life depends on a good conscience. John Calvin. Happiness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to deal with them. Jack Brown. Happiness is an attitude. We either make ourselves miserable, or happy or strong. The amount of work is the same. Francesca Reigler. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. Mother Teresa. The sexiest curve on your body is your smile. Flaunt it. Anon. Happiness comes in waves. It'll find you again. Anon. Happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like. Anon. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Anon. The search for happiness is one of the chief sources of unhappiness. Eric Hoffer. Wise men and women in every major culture have maintained that the secret of happiness is not in getting more but in wanting less. Philip Slater. Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it. Andy Rooney. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness. Albert Einstein. Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace and gratitude. Dennis Waitley. If you start to think the problem is out there, stop yourself. That thought is the problem. Stephen Covey. Think of all the beauty still left around you and be happy. Anne Frank. We make a living by what we get, we make a life by what we give. Winston Churchill. The power of finding beauty in the humblest things makes home happy and life lovely. Louisa May Alcott. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Chinese proverb. Happiness grows at our own firesides, and is not to be picked in Strenga's gardens. Douglas Jerrold.